All right, this is us trying it for the second time. I knocked the microphone over a second ago, but Shane's got it pretty solid now. How's it going, Plague Buddy?
Pretty good, Plague Buddy.
Glad to hear it. It is the afternoon right now. This is our third episode, and you've been working on a project over here.
Yeah.
I've been working, you've been doing chores, and you're using this time while I just started playing video games, I guess, to do something productive. Did you want to give an intro to what your little home handicraft is that you've been doing to keep yourself occupied?
Oh, I have been doing some handcrafted things like this earring.
You can hold it even closer. I didn't know we were actually...
You need to get out if they see your eyes.
If they see my eyes?
If the camera should detect eyes. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's what it's doing. It won't focus. Okay,
yes.
okay.
And I'm trying to fix the sleeves of this beach blouse. Yeah.
I think it's going to look really good on me once she's done.
Like, we don't have summer here in San Francisco doesn't mean that I cannot imagine summer in my brain.
Yeah, sometimes it gets warm enough to hit the beach, though.
One.
I'm sure there's been a time.
Like one.
You know. Off the top of my head, I can't name something, but I can't rule it out.
Alright. I'm thinking of if we go visit my parents when they go to Sanya.
Sanya? Oh my goodness, it's so good. So, what is Sanya? What does it mean to visit her parents? Where are your parents located, Chin?
Right now? Northwest China, Urumqi.
Yep, Urumqi is in northwest China in a region called Xinjiang. I've been there, is it twice or 3 times? It's probably...
At least 4 times.
Like I said, 4 times. I've been there in the summer, I've been in there in the winter.
Yeah.
And it's a remarkably different place because it's a desert.
And we're not going there in winter again.
You're not a fan?
Like, last time we freaked everyone out. Like, the wedding banquet is next day and you couldn't land. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
I see, because the difficulty of traveling there.
Yeah, I cannot guarantee, like, we have a friend to save us every time.
We could tell that story. Do you want to? We've got
Sure.
time here.
Yeah.
That's one of the beautiful things here at Plague Buddies is we've got nothing but time. So when I went to Urumqi, I was traveling on my own because I had gone to Shenzhen for work. And after the factory build that I'd been involved with, instead of coming back to America, I went up northwest to go to China. What was the connecting city called?
Guiyang.
Guiyang. I know nothing about this city. Evidently, it is a city that is it Maotai that's known?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's known for a particular real strong alcohol, but not enough for me to have heard of it. I'm there. I'm the only person that speaks English. Like, usually in China, you see a couple people speaking English, a couple people that are travelers. Whether or not it's their native language, you'll hear it around. In Guiyang, I heard none of it. And it snowed so much that the flight was canceled to Urumqi. So what am I going to do? I try speaking with the people there at the airport. I can speak a little bit of Chinese, but I can't speak a ton. And for special language, like having to deal with like new hotel arrangements and the rest in this particular situation, it was a little tricky for me. Luckily, they realized that I could not speak Chinese, so they said, "Hold on a sec," and
Their solution is not very
and
effective.
they then brought out someone from the back who still didn't speak English, but she spoke Chinese very slowly and used her hands a lot. I joke, but it was actually pretty helpful. I think that what they were essentially saying is, wait, let's find someone who has the patience to deal with this. And they found someone who did, and it was delightful. Anyway, it was communicated that, my flight is being canceled. We're going to have to find you a hotel, and we're going to have to go get your luggage. We're going to have to move you there. We don't know when the next flight is, but you can try rescheduling for something in this big long line after you get everything.
And what happens the day after?
Oh, yeah, and then the day after was, of course, the banquet. So we really didn't have a ton of time to deal with this. As I'm going to get my stuff, someone taps me on the shoulder and says in English, "Excuse me, you must be John." And at that point, I'm thinking, well, maybe this is someone trying to swindle me and steal all my money and steal my luggage, but you know what? Let's do it. Let's see what's going on.
Of stink clothes
I know. It was like I got smelly clothes from Shenzhen. Like it's all sweaty from being inside a factory. There's a certain point where like if you live your life correctly and if you get robbed, it's fine. It's just a good story because you don't own anything cool. Anyway, it turns out that Sheen, upon finding I was having difficulties, she scours WeChat, which is a chat app that they use in China. In fact, my parents, if you're reaching this video through my mom, she can tell you about using WeChat. And that's like, kind of a Facebook, Messenger, Twitter combined social interface, would you say? Yeah. Okay. Someone taps me on the shoulder, says, "Excuse me, you must be John." It turns out Sheen had scoured WeChat and found he's not a classmate.
It's just some. Do you have this word in English, like people from the same place? You share the same hometown.
A local, but
no.
Yeah.
When you already left your hometown.
Well, we in the Dalles have a rich tradition of keeping strong. No, we don't have this term. There may be a term for this. I evidently haven't cultivated this kind of idea.
Like say, if you first are all new immigrants and you move to
I'll stop you right there.
US and Dutch people stay together, Italian people stay together, that kind of thing.
Put the comments down below for the English that I'm failing at that she needs to learn because I'm a terrible teacher. At any rate, this is someone...
Yeah. We know each other when I was in Hong Kong, and I just happened to notice when you messaged me, I'm in Guiyang and the flight is cancelled. You think I'm a chou dan dan, but I still have one clean set of clothes. And
Chou dan dan means stinky dude. I know that much.
And then I noticed my friend happened to be on the same flight, and he's complaining. Oh, okay, I'm stuck here. I was like, hey, wrong. Go find John and take him home. Mm-hmm. So he did.
Well, to be more precise, he didn't just take me home. So he says he's like he's a traveling like food critic or something.
Yeah, he has a column on news, on paper about food.
Okay, so she didn't just find me some guy. She got me a traveling food critic to come and save me. He's like, yeah, well, get your luggage and let's go see if we can get a ticket. We get in line for the tickets. And he goes, oh, this line is too long. Let me go speak to them. And then he goes behind the counter and he gestures, and some people notice who he is, and they kind of come up, and then he starts talking to someone behind there with a suit. And they speak for a while, and then he comes and gets me from the line, and he goes, it's a huge line, by the way. And he goes, I got us a ticket on the next flight out. Let's get going. And so I'm like, oh, okay. And I was just going to stand in line. And then we get on the bus, and it takes us to a hotel. And I'm like, cool, a hotel. And he goes, oh, this hotel is dirty. I'll find us a better one. And I was just like, oh, I was going to go to the hotel. And so then we go to this hotel, and we got like this real high floor that he takes us to and everything. I'm not real good at gauging how fancy hotels are, but I do know that even the sign-in area, like you put your signature on something when you sign for your room, I know art tablets. The sign-in digital tool was a high-end Wacom Cintiq art tablet, and that makes no sense unless you're just trying to show off your in complete opulence. So we go there, it's fantastic, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm turning in. He goes, oh, this area is known for food. Let's go get something to eat. I was just like, oh, I was just going to go to sleep hungry. But then, we go get some fantastic food, and I'm like, wow, this is great. I think I don't like it when planes take off anymore. I just want food critics to pick me up and show me around everywhere. Yeah, we made it there.
That's lucky.
I think that we're getting close to overtime, but while we're talking about traveling in China, I do want to mention one other thing. This wasn't for that particular flight, I don't think, but I do remember in one of my flights heading to Urumqi, if you're looking for it in English, Urumqi. That was another case where I'm the only white person I saw on that plane. I was pretty rough looking at that time because I had been on my own for a bit. I had like a little bit of patchwork stubble going. I was not dressed in my nicest clothes. Not like now where I'm dressed in half my nicest clothes. And I'm on the plane. There's this little kid. He's just being a little snot to his dad. You remember this story?
Yes.
And his dad is speaking to him. His dad doesn't speak English. This kid speaks English. So his dad has clearly done some work to put him into a school where he's getting some kind of international exposure, where he's learning another language. But the kid's being a brat, and he's doing speak English, over and over in English. His dad doesn't have this capacity, but the kid thinks he's playing a power move. And he's yelling this over and over, speak English. And he's in the row right behind me. And so while this unfortunate for him, and so while the kid's doing this power move against his dad, and he thinks he's just going to get to bully him around, I stand up and I just put hands on the seat and I lift over and I go, hey buddy, I speak English, what do you want to say? And the kid just tenses up immediately at me having appeared. Yeah, the dad in Chinese, because he doesn't speak English, but I understand Chinese. The dad goes, oh, look, here's your buddy. You want to speak English with him? You can speak English with him now. And the kid, he slouches down, and in Chinese, he says, no.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and he was real quiet and real respectful for the rest of the flight. Anyway, we're at like 12 minutes at this point, so I should let Sheen do a little more handicrafts. I'm probably going to go try to do some exercise. We did indoor jumping jacks, but I'm going to go run some streets that don't have people on them now before the sun goes away. Anything else you wanted to say today?
I noticed that I always hate my fat round face, but
this
come too convenient for the playtime. Let me show you.
She's got a show and tell today.
One, I have when you were married, my pleat clothes doesn't have the string anymore because we've been calling our plaid clothes or like our outdoor clothes. If we're gonna go somewhere like a Costco or somewhere real packed, we're just like suiting up so that we don't have a lot of exposure. But if you have a round, fat face, you don't really need a string, do you?
Yeah. So I have
the
drawstring is what she's referring to, and I have a drawstring on mine. So I was like, oh, I can't use this other hoodie because you took the drawstring out, and it won't, because I've got to have it approximate a different shape. It's like this long shape, but hers, she's saying you put it right on, and
yeah, and also for the mask, it's just so well supported, sealed on the sides. Perfect.
Yeah. My mask kind of fits a little weird.
Oh, do you remember the goggles we got?
The goggles?
And
those don't fit well either.
Some glasses, it doesn't fit me on the nose bridge, but it always seals your nose bridge well.
Yeah. One of the things about, I think, having an interracial marriage, you quickly start learning different body and feature differences between the two. Okay, we're really going to start ending soon, I promise. But do you remember when you thought it must be so great to be white? Do you remember? I mean, there's a lot of reasons, obviously, particularly in America, it's great to be white. But what was one of the reasons that you thought it would be great to be a white person?
You can enjoy sun as much as you want.
Yeah.
You'll never get tanned.
Yeah. When you go out in the sun, unlike Chinese people, for instance, where your skin might get darker, white people famously can go out in the sun for unlimited amounts of time with no negative repercussions at all. True story.
Wrong.
Yeah. Whenever we go outside, I'm always jumping, and it's sunny. I'm always jumping between different shaded areas. I remember in particular one time I was like, man, can we walk on the other side of the street? And you're like, why? And I'm huddled there, behind the light of a lamppost or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Speaking of light, I'm going to go running while we still have some.
Sure.
And that has been Plague Buddies episode 3. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I'm going to go cooking dinner.
Oh, cool. You got to give your signature bye-bye. I don't even know if we have a signature bye-bye.
Oh.
Just give a cute bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See, nailed it. Bye.